Hello, today we will talk about a substance called dopamine. There are several important neurotransmitters in the human body, and one of the most significant among them is dopamine. Dopamine DA is a catecholinergic neurotransmitter that plays crucial roles in both the central and peripheral nervous systems, regulating various physiological functions such as motor control, emotion, reward, and endocrine activity. Dopamine is synthesized from tyrosine through enzymatic processes, beginning with L-DOPA. It can subsequently be metabolized into norepinephrine or epinephrine, which serve as neurotransmitters in the sympathetic nervous system. During this process, dopamine itself functions independently in the central nervous system and exerts diverse physiological roles through specific neural pathways. The primary functions of dopamine can be categorized into motor control, emotion, reward, and endocrine regulation. In the central nervous system, dopamine operates through four major pathways, which we will examine in more detail. The first pathway is the nigrostriatal pathway. This pathway originates in the substantia nigra pars compacta of the midbrain and projects to the striatum. Its most critical role is in motor control. Adequate dopamine release along the nigrostriatal pathway ensures a balance between excitatory and inhibitory signals within the basal ganglia, allowing for normal posture, movement execution, and coordination. Parkinson's disease is a representative disorder caused by a marked reduction of dopamine in this pathway, resulting in characteristic motor symptoms such as tremor, rigidity, and bradykinesia. Clinically, administration of the dopamine precursor L-DOPA is fundamental in treatment because it compensates for the dopamine deficiency in this pathway. The second pathway is the mesolimbic pathway. This pathway originates from the ventral tegmental area, VTA, of the midbrain and projects to limbic structures including the nucleus accumbens, amygdala, and hippocampus. Dopamine in the mesolimbic pathway plays a central role in reward, pleasure, and motivation, and it is closely involved in behavioral reinforcement, learning, and addiction. Overactivation of dopamine in this pathway can be associated with psychotic symptoms such as hallucinations and delusions in schizophrenia, as well as behaviors related to addiction, such as substance abuse or compulsive gambling. Conversely, dopamine deficiency can manifest as a lack of motivation, depression, and anhedonia. The third pathway is the mesocortical pathway, which also originates in the VTA but projects to the prefrontal cortex. Dopamine in the mesocortical pathway is involved in cognitive functions, attention, problem-solving, and emotional regulation. Insufficient dopamine in this pathway can result in deficits in executive function, reduced concentration, and impaired planning. In patients with schizophrenia, negative symptoms such as social withdrawal, blunted affect, and lack of motivation are closely related to reduced dopaminergic activity in the mesocortical pathway. The fourth pathway is the tuberoinfundibular pathway, which originates in the arcuate nucleus of the hypothalamus and projects to the anterior pituitary gland. Dopamine in this pathway plays a key role in inhibiting prolactin secretion. When dopamine is released normally, prolactin levels are suppressed, maintaining lactation control and reproductive hormone balance. If dopaminergic function is reduced, such as during treatment with antipsychotic medications, prolactin secretion is insufficiently inhibited, potentially leading to side effects like galactorrhea and amenorrhea. In summary, the four major dopaminergic pathways each have distinct functions and clinical significance. The nigrostriatal pathway is central to motor control, the mesolimbic pathway to reward and pleasure, the mesocortical pathway to cognition and emotion, and the tuberoinfundibular pathway to prolactin inhibition and endocrine regulation. While these pathways operate largely independently, they can interact in certain functions, and dysregulation of dopaminergic signaling is implicated in a variety of disorders, including Parkinson's disease, schizophrenia, depression, and endocrine abnormalities. Understanding dopamine pathways is not only essential for neurophysiology, but also has significant implications for pharmacological treatment strategies, such as selecting therapies for Parkinson's disease, antipsychotic medications, or drugs targeting dopaminergic function and predicting potential side effects. Therefore, it is crucial to comprehend dopamine synthesis, action, major pathways, and their clinical relevance.